Superstar Idris Elba has revealed that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding guests went off at a Whitney Houston classic. Idris Elba mesmerized guests at the Meghan and Harry's wedding by putting on a memorable DJ set during the private evening reception. BBC's One Extra rap host Tiffany Carver asked Elba, "What is the vibe at the Harry and Meghan wedding? What tune was the one that got everyone going crazy?" To which he said guests went off at Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody and that the Duchess specifically requested Dr. Dre's Still Dre. This is the first time to get such details, as back in 2019 when he was asked to disclose what songs made the set, Mr. Elba said, "I'm not gonna put their business out like that, that's not fair. Ask Meghan and Harry." Another news, Scobie, the co-author of the unofficial biography of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Finding Freedom, believes the recent tour of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge stuck much more to a traditional format than the one carried out by Meghan and Harry between September and October 2019. Mr. Scobie believes the decision on how to set out the tour came from aides and palace officials rather than the royals themselves. Appearing on Newsweek's podcast The Royal Report, Mr. Scobie ran through what he thought went wrong during the recent visit to Belize, Jamaica and the Bahamas by Kate and Prince William. He said a visit to countries with a colonial past and history deeply impacted by the slave trade should have prompted an acknowledgement of the past from the very onset of the tour. He then recalled how the palace did just that ahead of the tour to southern Africa of Meghan and Harry in 2019. Mr. Scobie said, "I think we have seen in the past where tours were able to set the tone from the very beginning. I remember being in briefings for the Sussexes tour in southern Africa and how it was Buckingham Palace staff who really went out of their way to say this tour would be a little different. The couple would be mindful of the politics within the local areas they were visiting, that we wouldn't be seeing state dinners, there wouldn't be the expensive wardrobes you are used to on a royal trip. That was kind of proof that at one point the palace did know how to make these things work in a modern environment." Last month, as the Cambridges were traveling to the Caribbean, the palace may have chosen a more traditional approach due to the fact they were undertaking a trip to mark the 70th year of the Queen on the throne, Mr. Scobie added. Mr. Scobie stressed he does not think the different approach to the 2019 tour had necessarily to do with the Sussexes. He said, "I just remember a time when palace staff, and those employed by the Crown were thinking in that very specific way. And so a lot of that comes from the leadership above them and clearly that wasn't there with the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. I think they were very keen on sticking to that sort of traditional format that we know and, at times, have loved." The royal author cited the tours to Canada, Australia and India as examples. Some interpreted this gesture as a nod to the Queen and Prince Philip's visit to that same Caribbean nation in 1953, when the pair also rode among well-wishers aboard a similar vehicle. But others believed it was too reminiscent of Britain's colonial past. People magazine's reporter Simon Perry, who followed the Cambridges during the tour, claimed Kate and William rode aboard the vehicle at the request of the Jamaican military. The tour was also marred with protests and activists' calls for slavery reparations. In Jamaica, the day after people gathered outside the British High Commission in Kingston to demand Britain and the firm to apologize for slavery and pay reparations, Prince William addressed the issue of slavery, calling it abhorrent. He also said, "I want to express my profound sorrow. Slavery was abhorrent. And it should never have happened." While the pain runs deep, Jamaica continues to forge its future with determination, courage and fortitude. The strength and shared sense of purpose of the Jamaican people, represented in your flag and motto, celebrate an invincible spirit.